Residents of Punggol East, when I was asked to speak tonight, I had no hesitation to say yes. And let me tell you why. Because every by-election is important to us. Every by-election is as important to us as a general election. And why is it important to us? Because every ward is important to us. Every resident in Punggol East is important to us. Because for the PAP, it's about each resident, each family, the whole country. Our thought, our vision, our energy has always been for Singapore and every Singaporean. So when this seat became vacant, the first thought on the PAP's mind was, we must find another person, right candidate for the residents of Punggol. And we have found him, and that is Dr. Koh Poh Koon. We looked for someone who had the passion to serve. We looked for someone who had the heart to serve. And we looked for someone who had the desire to serve. And we also looked for someone who was from Punggol. He is your resident in many ways. He's a son of Punggol, as he's been called. And he also carries with him the spirit of Punggol. But what is it about him that makes him want and able to serve in this area? Punggol has many young families. And what are uppermost on young families' minds? Housing, cost of living, most of all, your children and your children's future. What do you want for your children? You know, it's such a competitive place out there. And I don't just mean Singapore. Southeast Asia, growing, competitive. Look at the situation in Europe, US, UK. Everywhere in the world, people are looking for a better life for their children, a better education for their children, a better future for their children. If they have those concerns out there, so do we, so much more so. And the PAP has these concerns for you, because for us it's how do we ensure the future for our children. And as you would know, since the last general election, we have been making important moves on education. We know that it's not just about the grades. Sometimes it seems that way, but it's not just about the grades. The grades are only supposed to be a means to an end. The subject matter, the content is supposed to help you to get knowledge. But knowledge is not character. Knowledge is not about people. Knowledge is not about values. And for us as a party, we believe very strongly that it's, we've often talked about excellence, but that's excellence in knowledge and facts. But for us, character is important. This is what we want your children to be. And these are the moves that we're making in education, because we want to make sure that whatever that future is, your children are ready, they are prepared, and that they will have a bright future ahead of them. And these are concerns that Poh Koon can empathize and understand, because he has young children too. So for every one of you out there with young families and young children, your concerns are also his concerns. He understands them, he'll be able to articulate them and speak for you on those. And it's not just education. You will see that since the last general election, we have made many moves on housing. We have been working on transport. And that's because, as a party, we listen. We do. It's not easy to do some of the things we have to do, and sometimes it takes time. But we have not misread and we have not forgotten the message that the electorate has given. You are important to us, Punggol East. You may be one constituency, a single member ward, but you are very important to us. And also, for Poh Koon, the fact that he is a surgeon means that very often a person's life is in his hands. That kind of responsibility does not come lightly. When you know that what you do can make the difference between life or death for somebody. And with that kind of sense of duty and responsibility, so much more so, he comes to you with that willingness to serve, with that understanding that your lives, the representations that you have, the concerns that you have, you put in his hands, and he will deal with in the same way that he deals with for the patients that he cares for, looks after, because he understands that it's entrusted to him as a responsibility. So remember, Punggol East, every ward is important to us. Every resident is important to us. And just in that same way, every vote is important too. Because every vote that you give us gives us the encouragement to know that what we are doing is the right thing for you, for Punggol, for Singapore, for country. So give us your votes. Give us your votes, Punggol East. Give Poh Koon your votes, because we need every single vote. We do not take you for granted. We understand the needs that you have here, and we want to do better for Punggol and for Punggol East. And your vote will tell us that we can do much more, not just for you, but for Singapore. So vote for PAP. Vote for PAP, vote for Poh Koon, and give us your mandate for this by-election. Show the rest of the country that this is a by-election worth fighting. Give us the mandate to go forward, to take Singapore forward, and to move to the next direction. Punggol East, give us your votes. Thank you.